A strange fact that most people probably don't know is that in the past, blue was the only color that didn't really exist in the world. And when it was discovered, it was worth more than gold. In this video, we will see how blue went from rare and mysterious to everywhere. Out in nature, blue is actually super rare. Most animals and plants just don't naturally have it. For sure, we've got blue skies and blue oceans, but even those are just tricks of light. Real blue pigment is hard to find. Our eyes aren't even that good at seeing blue compared to other colors. It's the hardest for us to detect naturally. And back in ancient times, humans didn't even have a word for it. Some old languages had no word for blue at all. But some cultures started to see its magic early. In ancient Egypt, blue was associated with the gods and the heavens. In Persia and Babylon, it symbolized power and protection, but even then it was incredibly rare and special. The Egyptians were actually the first people to invent synthetic blue. They mixed crushed sand, copper, and heat to create a deep mystical pigment now known as Egyptian blue. It was used in tombs, temples, and statues of gods. But the most legendary source of blue was a precious stone, lapis lazuli, found in the mountains of Afghanistan, and it had a deep, rich color like nothing else. It was so rare and it was more expensive than gold. To get that blue stone to Europe, it had to travel thousands of kilometers across deserts, trade routes, and through dangerous lands. But artists and royalty were willing to pay any price to get their hands on it. When lapis lazuli finally arrived in Europe, it changed everything. Painters saw it as a kind of holy color. They used it sparingly only in the most important parts of their paintings, because it was just that valuable. Artists learned to grind the stone into a powder and mix it with oils and binders. The result was ultramarine, literally meaning from behind the sea. It became the most beautiful and most expensive blue paint ever made. Because ultramarine was so expensive, artists reserved it for the most important figures in their paintings. In Renaissance art, you would often see someone wearing a deep blue robe to show their high status and spiritual importance. Even the famous painter Vermeer, the one who painted Girl with a Pearl Earring, struggled to afford blue pigment. Some historians believe he even went into debt just to keep using ultramarine in his paintings. Sometimes artists had to get financial help just to paint with blue. Churches or wealthy patrons would actually fund the use of ultramarine, making it one of the first sponsored colors in history. But many artists couldn't afford blue at all. They had to use other colors instead or mix and fake their way around it. Blue became a symbol of luxury and also of limitation. Then came a turning point. In the 1700s, a chemist in Berlin accidentally created a new kind of blue pigment, Prussian blue. It was cheap, vibrant, and didn't require precious stones. Suddenly, blue was for everyone. With Prussian blue and other synthetic dyes, the color exploded across the world. Factories began producing blue fabrics, and artists could finally paint skies, oceans, and ropes without going broke. Meanwhile, another blue dye, indigo, was spreading through the textile world. It was used to make denim jeans, which started as workwear for miners and farmers. Blue also affects how we feel. It's calming, peaceful, and gives a sense of trust. That's why hospitals, spas, and meditation apps love using it. But blue can also feel sad, like when we are saying, I feel blue. Also, many apps and brands like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn are all blue. That's not a coincidence. Blue gives a message like you can trust us, and this is a smart branding. Across different spiritual traditions, blue represents purity, truth, and communication. In Hinduism, it's the color of Krishna. In Sufi mysticism, it protects from evil. It's not just the color, it's energy. Police, pilots, and even astronauts wear blue because blue says, I have authority, but I'm calm and safe. It's powerful without being too aggressive. And when we step back, way back, and look at Earth from space, we see blue. Our planet is covered in oceans and sky, and that color defines who we are. It's why we call it the blue planet. Well, it's wild. A color that was once sacred and rare is now just normal. On our clothes, in our homes, in our screens, blue went from being a privilege of the gods to a part of a daily life. So next time you see something blue, the sky, a Lego, or your jeans, take a second and think about this journey. From ancient stones to digital screens, blue really has one of the most beautiful stories ever told.